When you think of a serial killer, you probably imagine someone hiding in the shadows. A stranger. Someone dangerous, yes, but never someone you'd willingly trust. But what if the killer was your own doctor? This is the chilling story of Harold Shipman, a respected British GP who used his position to murder an estimated 218 to 250 people, most of them elderly women, over 2 decades. They called him Dr. Death. Harold Frederick Shipman was born in 1946 in Nottingham, England. By all appearances, he was a bright, well-mannered young man. He went on to study medicine at Leeds School of Medicine and qualified as a doctor in 1970. By the mid-1970s, he was working as a general practitioner in Todmorden, a small town in West Yorkshire. But even early in his career, something wasn't right. In 1975, Shipman was caught forging prescriptions for pethidine, a powerful opioid. He was fined and sent to rehab, but shockingly, allowed to return to work just a year later. Shipman eventually settled in Hyde, Greater Manchester, where he opened his own surgery and became a well-liked, seemingly dedicated GP. He had the perfect cover, a respected position, easy access to controlled substances, and a steady stream of elderly patients who trusted him completely. Most of his victims were older women, living alone, with little family oversight. He would often visit them at home, administer a fatal dose of morphine, and then calmly declare natural causes: heart failure, stroke, or old age. No one questioned the doctor. Over the years, the number of deaths among his patients was unusually high. But because his victims were elderly, their deaths didn't raise suspicion. After all, who would question a beloved local doctor? Shipman even signed the death certificates himself, sometimes faking medical histories to make the cause of death appear plausible. He encouraged cremation, reducing any chance of forensic evidence. In most cases, there were no autopsies. The system trusted him, and that trust cost hundreds of lives. Everything changed in 1998 with the death of Kathleen Grundy, a healthy, active 81-year-old and former mayor of Hyde. Her daughter, a lawyer, was shocked to learn that her mother had allegedly rewritten her will, leaving all her possessions to Harold Shipman. Suspicious, she contacted the police. An autopsy revealed a lethal dose of diamorphine, a powerful form of morphine, in Kathleen's system. Shipman was arrested shortly after. Once authorities began digging into Shipman's history, they found an alarming pattern. Dozens of patients had died under similar circumstances. All had received home visits shortly before death. Many had been cremated with no autopsy. Several had missing or altered medical records. The list of suspicious deaths kept growing, into the hundreds. What shocked investigators wasn't just the number of victims, it was how long he got away with it. For over 20 years, no one suspected a thing. In 2000, Harold Shipman stood trial for 15 counts of murder and 1 count of forgery, just a fraction of his suspected crimes. He was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life imprisonment, with no possibility of parole. Yet investigators believed he had killed well over 200 people, possibly even more. Some experts estimate the number at up to 250. On January 13, 2004, just 1 day before his 58th birthday, Harold Shipman was found hanged in his prison cell. He left no suicide note, no confession, no explanation, just silence. For many of the victims' families, his death brought no closure, only more questions. How did a man murder over 200 patients, in plain sight, for more than 2 decades? The answer lies in a combination of blind trust in authority, a lack of oversight in medical death reporting, and a system that gave doctors too much unchecked control. In response to the case, the UK launched the Shipman Inquiry, which recommended major changes to how deaths are recorded, how prescriptions are tracked, and how complaints against medical professionals are handled. Most of Shipman's victims were women in their 70s and 80s, people who should have felt safe in the care of someone they trusted. Their names were almost lost in the shadow of their killer, but they deserve to be remembered, not just as numbers or case files, but as mothers, grandmothers, neighbors, and friends. Harold Shipman didn't look like a killer. That's what made him so dangerous. He reminds us that evil doesn't always hide in the dark. Sometimes it wears a white coat and carries a stethoscope. Thank you for watching this story. If you want more in-depth, respectful true crime documentaries, subscribe and share your thoughts below. Do you think Shipman's crimes could have been stopped earlier? Let's talk about it.